Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss the chapter The Living World. That is your first chapter in your biology textbook. This is very interesting topic. Now first thing, we will discuss the specific topic in your book that is called as the nomenclature system. What is the nomenclature system? So there will be a question in our mind that what is the need of the nomenclature system, why we require this nomenclature system, हमें ज़रूरत क्या है इसकी. तो there is an answer to that question and you will be surprised to know. If you see the organisms around, there are lots of plants and animals, bacteria, viruses, there are a lot of numbers. The thing is that you can call this as a biodiversity. An occurrence of different type of plants and animals around us, lots of species are there. So we will call this in a term that is called diversity or biological diversity, or biodiversity. So among this biodiversity, if you see 1.7 to 1.8 million species are there which have been identified by our scientists till now. But there are a lot of plants and animals yet to be identified. But still there is a lot. This is the large number. So it is not easy to give name, identify and classify all those names so that we can remember and understand them. Okay. Among this 1.7 to 1.8 million, if you see 0.5 million are the plants species. This is a large number of plants, but yet to be identified more. Or if we see the animals, we can see the 1.25 million species are present for the animals. There is a large number of animals which are present or identified yet. Now, if we see the smaller organisms around us called as insects, you will be surprised to know there is large number of insects around us, and that comes in the number of 1.025 million. So you can see this is the large number of organisms. So we need to identify all those organisms. We need to understand them. If we get the new organisms around us, so we need to have characteristic features of that organism and we need to classify, we need to put them in some category, whether this belongs to this category, this category, that category. So we need to have those features. Okay. Going further, going in the depth of the concept or the topic, we will come to the point, your nomenclature system, how we can name the organism, This nomenclature system has its specific meaning, arrangement of organisms, arrangement of organisms on different basis, different categories. So this is the meaning of this nomenclature system. Now going inside, we are having two words called as taxonomy and systematics. We are going deep down in the topic. You will understand. This is the easy concept. What do you mean by taxonomy and what do you mean by systematics? Taxonomy basically deals with the identification, characterization, taxonomy that deals with the identification, characterization and naming, nomenclature. Nomenclature. एक shortcut trick है, you can learn with that. That is called as SISIN. Characterization, identification, classification and nomenclature. Characterization, identification, classification and nomenclature. So there has to be some shortcut tricks so that you can learn easily and you can remember all those concepts. So that is, you can learn it as SISIN. So classification, identification, nomenclature and characterization. So taxonomy is a science that deal with the CICN, classification, characterization nomenclature and identification of that organisms on the basis of various characteristic features जो हमने देखे हैं, morphological features है ना, और भी सारे features हो सकते हैं. So we can characterize them on the basis of those features so that we can identify them easily. Now if we go to the systematics and taxonomy, those are the words which are similar but not have the exact same meaning. Now what is the difference between systematic and taxonomy? Systematics involve or deals with biological diversity and it includes phylogeny also. Phylogeny means, what do you mean by phylogeny? Phylogeny क्या होती है ना? Phylogeny is evolutionary history of an organism. And phylogeny or evolutionary history can be identified on various bases. For example, if we get a fossil that is all around 2 to 2.5 million years ago or 1000 years ago, so we will see the morphological features, biochemical features, all the nucleus, all the DNA and all other features of that body which was buried under the earth in the particular period of geological period of time. So we will have all the details, so we can have match between the characteristic features of the present days organism and that fossilized organism that has been buried. So we will compare those features, whether it is biochemical feature, whether it is morphological feature, whether it is embryological feature, whether it is any feature. So we will compare all those features with the living world, today's world organism, so that we can make a link between 2, 3 or 4 organisms, so that we can make the idea, we can have the ideas कि इसके एंसेस्टर्स कौन होंगे, है ना. तो हमको पता लग जाएगा कि इसकी जो एंसेस्ट्रल हिस्ट्री है वो क्या है, इसके पूर्वज कहां से हुए होंगे, बेसिकली इसको समझने के लिए. ठीक है. सो वी विल हैव दिस फाइलोजेनेटिक रिलेशनशिप, इवोल्यूशनरी हिस्ट्री. ओके. सो दिस इज द बेसिक concept of the systematics and the taxonomy. Now if we go deep down in the systematics, so what is the meaning of systematics then? We have already done this. We will use the shortcut trick session along with the phylogenetic relationship, evolutionary history. Okay. Now if we divide this concept according to the eras means purana or naya. For example, if we discuss the classical taxonomy or classical systematics, and if we consider the modern taxonomy, modern systematics, so we will compare this. In the classical taxonomical system, we used to have comparisons between the organisms on the basis of the morphological feature also. Morphological features are always compared, only the morphological features. But this is the problem, na? But there are lots of other character features also, na? Other than morphological feature, there are lots of other features also. Biochemical components, evolutionary history, DNA, RNA, chemicals. There are lots of other characters also, but in the classical taxonomical systematics, we used to compare only the morphological features कि बाहर से organism कैसा दिखता है, उसके बेस पर हमने comparison शुरू किया. First thing. The second thing is, this system assumes that organisms are static. Static means there is no dynamicness. There is no dynamics, matlab there is no evolution, there is no change in the DNA. But this is not true. Exactly, there is always a change in the genetic components or the mutation or the evolution. So there is always a change that occur in the organisms along with the change in the environment. Now second thing is, if we compare this modern taxonomy with this classical taxonomy, तो मॉडर्न टैक्सोनॉमी क्या कहती है Modern taxonomy allows the evolution. That also consider the evolution. Actually, this is the main point. This consider at the first and foremost point this evolutionary history, so that we can compare the phylogenetic relationship. This is the main thing. So we used to study the chemical components in the morphological feature as well, biochemical components, DNA, RNA, all the genetics, genes, all the features are compared along with the morphology. But this classical or Purana type of taxonomy only compare the morphological features. So there is a major difference. So it also includes the mutation or the evolution. So this is the major difference between modern taxonomy and the classical taxonomy. One more difference is there. This classical taxonomy involves on the basis of specimen study, or it includes the few organisms for the study. If we want to identify or characterize one organism, then there will be few organisms required to study, and we can also have the study with the help of specimen study, जो stored होते हैं, bottles में बंद होते हैं. But this is not the way of identify and classify and of that organism basically. So in contrast to this, modern taxonomy is having more organisms, number of organisms are more, so that we can have the data very accurate. So this is the major difference between this modern taxonomy and classical taxonomy. The modern taxonomy was given by Huxley. Okay. In 1940, it is given by Huxley. So this was the extra point for that used to come in the NEET or the entrance. Now, if we see the nomenclature system from deep inside, so we will have the criteria and the principles of that nomenclature system. There are some rules for the nomenclature system, and there are two systems for the naming or the nomenclature of the organism. For example, this is the organism. First and foremost thing, there is always a common name to the organism because it is found in local area. कहीं एक specific जगह पर ही मिलता है, मान तमिलनाडु में ही मिलता है, for example हरियाणा में ही मिलता है ना, तो उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं कॉमन नेम. जैसे हम लोग फॉर एग्जाम्पल देयर इज अ वर्ड चिरैया फॉर द इंडियन स्पैरो, बट देयर इज अनदर नेम हाउस स्पैरो इन द US. सो कॉमन नेम्स कैन बी डिफरेंट. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द लोकल पीपल यूज्ड टू कॉल विद द डिफरेंट नेम्स. ओके, द वन थिंग इज कॉमन नेम एंड अनदर थिंग इज साइंटिफिक नेम और द टेक्निकल नेम. One thing is scientific name, another is technical name. There are two names, but more accurate is the scientific name. There is a reason. So there is a difference between the common name and the scientific name. What is the advantage and disadvantage for that? So if we see the common name have few advantages, not much. There are few advantage. Advantage क्या है? Easy to learn, shortcut name. We can have the idea about the organism with the help of this name. For example, चिरैया, जो मैंने example दिया, चिरैया that make the chirping sound, चिर 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 की sound जो है produce करती है. So that name is given to this sparrow, चिरैया. But चिरैया is named with the other name in the other part of the country or any other country. And another example is दूधो. दूधो is the organism or the plant which is having some milky secretion. So this is the local name and which is having some meaning also. Shortcut है, easy to remember है, ancestral है, सबको याद होता है, इसलिए these are the few advantage. Disadvantages are also there. Disadvantage क्या है इसके? Disadvantage ये है कि इसको सब लोग याद नहीं कर सकते, साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी इसको एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेगी. इट इज नॉट इजी फॉर ऑल ऑफ देम, ऑल ऑफ अस टू लर्न द लोकल नेम्स, एंड इट विल डेफिनेटली क्रिएट ए क्लैश because there are lots of common names that has been assigned to the species or the organism. So this is different. So this is not acceptable actually, or this is not comfortable also. If we see the scientific name, biological source, we can also call this as a biological name or source. Now there is some system of that nomenclature system which include the scientific name or the technical name or the biological name. We divide the name of organism in two formats, two names, the first word and the second word. Now this first word and second word, there are two names, so that's why this system is called binomial system. Binomial system of classification, that is called as binomial system of classification. By do, name, nomial, naam, binomial system of classification. The thing is, who has given this? So this binomial system was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus, the father of taxonomy. You can call him as father of taxonomy. शुरुआत इन्होंने की, इसलिए उनको हम लोग फादर ऑफ टैक्सोनॉमी कहते हैं. इन हिज बुक कॉल्ड स्पीशीज प्लांटेरम एंड सिस्टमा नेचुरा, he has explained lots of species of the plants and animals. So in 1758 the book came Systema Naturae, and in 1753 that book came as species plantarum, called as species plantarum. Now he has explained or classify the organisms on with the both names. So for example if we see in case of humans, what will be the name according to the binomial system given by Carolus Linnaeus? See, Homo sapiens. So this word and this word will be called as genus. This will be called as genus, or you can call it as generic name, है ना, generic names, genus or generic name. Now comes the second word, sapien, that will be called as species. This word will be called as, this name will be called as species, और आप इसको स्पेसिफिक एपिफेट भी कह सकते हैं बेटा. स्पेसिफिक एपिफेट, जीनस, जेनरिक नेम. तो दिस वाज गिवन बाय Carolus Linnaeus, binomial expression, a binomial system of expression of names basically. But there are some rules. These names are always written in the Latin. ठीक है बेटा, रूल समझने बहुत जरूरी है. पहली बात क्या है, these names will be always be written in the Latin language. Because why Latin इसलिए because this is the dead language. इसमें कोई further changes नहीं आते, spellings change नहीं होती. तो जो नेम हमने ऑलरेडी दे दिए हैं वो चेंज नहीं होंगे, सालों साल वो वही रहेंगे, कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा. तो इसका बेनिफिट क्या होगा? इसका बेनिफिट ये होगा कि नाम में कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा, तो बहुत साल तक हमको यही याद रखने में हमको इजी होगा बेसिकली. ठीक है, कोई चेंज नहीं आएगा. दूसरी सेकेंड रूल इज both words genus and species. If we see the genus, this first letter of this word genus will be written in the capital letters. If we see the species, the first letter will be written in the small letter. ये याद रखने वाली बात है, यहां गलती नहीं होनी चाहिए. एंट्रेंस में भी क्वेश्चन आता है बेटा, होमो सैपियन. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट लेटर कैपिटल, सेकंड वर्ड का फर्स्ट लेटर ये स्मॉल में होगा. और भी रूल है, और रूल ये है कि इफ वी आर टाइपिंग और राइटिंग इन द बुक, देन these the species will be written in the italics, but if we are writing, है ना, if we are writing the name, हाथ से लिख रहे हैं, टाइपिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो हमको अंडरलाइन करना पड़ेगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये लिखा हुआ है तो हमको ये अंडरलाइन करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना. तो टाइपिंग में हम लोग को इटैलिक्स में लिखना है और हम हाथ से लिख रहे हैं तो हम इसको अंडरलाइन जरूर करेंगे, ठीक है. एक रूल और है, लेकिन रूल में इसमें क्या है कि मान लीजिए मैंने ढूंढा ये प्लांट, है ना, तो आप मुझे तो नहीं भूल सकते ना, तो डिस्कवरर जो है उसका नाम लिखना बहुत जरूरी है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लिनियस ने इनको क्लासिफाई किया, लिनियस का नाम यहां पर फिर आएगा लिन. तो कई बार आपको यहां शॉर्टकट नेम दिख रहा होगा, दैट इज लिन. लिन रिप्रेजेंट द लिनियस, कैरोलस लिनियस, ठीक है. तो होमो सैपियन लिन, तो हम इसको इन्वेंटर को नहीं बोलेंगे, डिस्कवरर को नहीं बोलेंगे, उनको भी क्रेडिट देंगे, ठीक है ना. तो ये बहुत जरूरी है. एक चीज और भी है, इसको रोमन स्क्रिप्ट में हम लोग जो नेम है आगे रोमन स्क्रिप्ट में लिखते हैं. बाई चांस एक और साइंटिस्ट आ गए जिन्होंने कुछ चीजें और ढूंढ ली, देयर आर सर्टेन एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स विच हैव बीन एडेड बाय सम अदर साइंटिस्ट. So we need to contribute for them also, but we will not forget the old one. So we will write this in the point dot full stop type का और एक bracket and another name, for example Manoj. So I will write another name afterward, okay, afterward. सो हम लोग पुराने वाले को और नए वाले को दोनों को ही कंट्रीब्यूशन उसमें देंगे, नाम में वो दोनों के दोनों ही आएगा. ये रूल है, जिसको भूलना नहीं है, ठीक है. नाउ क्वेश्चन कम्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू सी द ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन, हाउ इट कम्स. फर्स्ट ऑप्शन दिया है होमो सैपियंस, दूसरा ऑप्शन दिया है फिर दिया है होमो सैपियन अगेन, नाउ डी. अब देखिए इसमें अभी जो मैंने रूल्स बताए आपको सिर्फ उसी का डिफरेंस है. इसमें करेक्ट कौन सा, देखिए ये भी गलत है, ऐसा नहीं लिख सकते, ठीक है ना. ये हमको कुछ ठीक लग रहा है, अभी देख लेते हैं और ऑप्शन भी देख लेते हैं. ये एच है, ये चलो ठीक है. ये एस कैपिटल है तो ये भी नहीं हो सकता, ये यहाँ ए कैपिटल होगा ये भी नहीं हो सकता, तो ये ठीक है. और अंडरलाइन होता है, हम यहाँ पर अंडरलाइन भी दिया है तो दैट इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट, ठीक है ना. अगर हैंडरिटन है, अगर टाइप्ड है तो फिर इटैलिक्स में लिखोगे. तो ये ऑप्शन ऐसे ढूंढे जाते हैं. तो रूल्स का ये फायदा है, आपको याद रखोगे तो ये रूल्स का ये बेनिफिट है इसमें. चलिए, वन मोर थिंग, देयर आर सम कोड्स. इफ यू आर नेमिंग और नोमेनक्लेचर सिस्टम हैज टू बी गिवन सम इंस्ट्रक्शंस अकॉर्डिंग टू द स्टैंडर्ड बॉडी, स्टैंडर्ड कोड्स. सब मनमर्जी नहीं नाम रख सकते. So there are standards and codes. For example, if we see the ICBN, International Codes for Botanical Nomenclature, codes for botanical nomenclature, means this will help in the nomenclature of the plants. कि नाम क्या रखने हैं, रूल्स क्या होंगे, क्या चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, दैट विल बी गवर्न्ड विद द ICBN. Nowadays this is changed and named as ICN, International Code for Nomenclature of Alga, Fungi and Plants. ये चेंज होकर ICN आजकल हम इसको बोलते हैं. एक होता है ICZN, one more thing is ICZN, International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. इसमें हम लोग नेमिंग के लिए, एनिमल्स के लिए जो नेमिंग करी जाती है, नोमेनक्लेचर जो दिया जाता है, ये गवर्न करता है. इसके अलावा और भी हैं, जैसे ICNB है, ICNB इंटरनेशनल कोड फॉर नोमेनक्लेचर ऑफ बैक्टीरिया. ये बैक्टीरिया के नोमेनक्लेचर के लिए जो है गाइडलाइंस देते हैं, ठीक है ना। वायरस के लिए भी है, वायरस के लिए भी ICTV, इंटरनेशनल कोड फॉर टैक्सोनॉमिकल नोमेनक्लेचर ऑफ वायरसेस के लिए। तो these all are given the codes, these bodies are giving the codes or the rules or the instructions to name the various plants, animals, fungi, algae and bacteria or virus. So I hope कि ये आपको टॉपिक समझ में आ गया होगा। थैंक यू सो मच।